Hello again, it's the OhioRAAM show coming to you from Southwest Ohio. And today's show is, we're calling it the All Dane show. We have two people from Denmark here with us. I was hoping for more. Maybe some more will show up. It's called the All Dane show because there's all Danes on it. It's not all the Danes by any means, but we're glad to have them with us. We'll get to them in just a little bit here. The OhioRAAM show is supported by the two time stations in Western Ohio at Oxford and Blanchester, where we have 24-hour food, 24-hour fuel, and 24-hour fans for the racers in the race across America. And we're interested in cycling in general, ultra cycling in particular, with an emphasis on, of course, the race across America. And today we have two people from Denmark with us, and we're going to introduce them. First of all, let me introduce Anders Tesgaard. Anders, how are you today?
Yeah, I'm fine. The weather is bright and good for cycling. So
Very
good.
good.
Yeah.
Okay, now he seems to be rejoining.
Yeah, I'm trying to anyway.
Yeah, I see you're fine. I hear you and see you. I see you
Yeah,
twice, but we're glad to have you with us. How are you doing today?
I'm very good, thank you.
And thankfully, Andy just showed up. Andy Christensen, how are you today, Andy?
Hey Lee, I'm doing great. How are you guys?
I see you got your cycling togs on there and ready to talk.
Sure.
Great. Well, glad to have you show up. I was hoping that Morton might pop in here. Maybe he will yet. But we're happy to have all of you here. And my name is Lee Kreider. I am the host of this show. We're starting out our third season. I thought we started in 2013, but actually it was 2012. And so this is the beginning of the third season of this show. I'm not going to give you a show number because I've got them all mixed up right now, but they're up in the 50s somewhere, and we're glad to have you with us. So, guys, you were all been on the show before, and you are all veterans of RAM or RAW this past year. So I'm going to just go down the line and tell me a little bit about how it went for you this past year, and then we'll get back to you to talk about just anything you want to talk about. Anders, tell me about RAM for you.
I think rain was good for me this summer. I think 38 hours faster compared to my first time. I was lucky not to have any pains, not to have any real pains. Of course, I was tired, and but no real pains, and I'm satisfied. But still, I think it can be better.
And you did complete.
Yeah,
And I believe you're signed up for next year, aren't you?
yeah,
For 2015?
yeah.
Okay.
It's still because the very good thing this year was that I could stay on the bike uh, with no pain, but still things can be better, a lot better. And the experience was good, the team was good, and so why not do it one more time? Finance, I don't have all the finance, but hopefully some.
You know, in dealing with people doing Raw and RAM, I've never once before, ever, but anybody ever bring up the subject of money. It's
They never did. I can
I'm
believe it.
joking with you. No, Anders, it is the perpetual problem, is it not?
Uh, it is a problem because you cannot do it. You can do it to some limit, and then you cannot do it anymore because the bank is saying no.
Yeah.
Luckily, my main sponsor is a bank, and they they understand what I'm doing, but still, for my own sake, I cannot continue to do it
Yeah, well,
with
that's yeah,
with
it's
credit.
it's an expensive proposition for those of us in the United States, much less you coming from Europe.
Yeah, I think really on a low budget, you can do it from Denmark, going to USA to do RAM. I think it will cost on a low budget about $50,000.
Okay, now let me correct. You said 60,000?
50,000.
50? Okay. That's the kind of
Very,
number I've been here tossed around here and there, and it seems to be going up
yeah, on
every
a
year.
very low
Yeah,
budget.
yeah. That's as Danny Chu says, there's a budget to finish and a budget to win, and although money won't win it for you, there are some aspects to that. Well, let's come back to the United States. Andy is Danish, but he lives here in the United States at the present time. Tell me about, you did Raw, did you not, Andy?
Yes, that's correct. I did Raw this year, and yeah, speaking of how it went, I mean, I succeeded because my goal was to finish within the time of 92 hours, and I made it in just over 81, so I was very happy with that. And I mean, things went very well. My main concerns was the heat. I coped very well with that, and of course the nutrition was very important. And the somewhat limited test that we've done on the nutrition beforehand has turned out to be sufficient. And my wife's knowledge on nutrition and food and the whole game plan we put together, and in the light that myself was a rookie. This was the first time I ever went beyond 24 hours on a bike, and my whole crew had never done anything like this before. Obviously, my wife, who's the crew chief, has been with me on some 12-hour races and so forth, and but my sister and brother-in-law was rookies. Obviously, we knew each other very well, but we didn't make any huge mistakes. We didn't, as I said, I was feeling good pretty much all the way. Obviously, I was tired, but I mean, as they say, sleep is overrated anyway. So, but yeah, it went well. It was a great experience, and it was a big goal for me to finish, and it was a good feeling to get that one done.
Now, just for the edification of some of the viewers, and not everybody is into this, so we have to say that RAW stands for Race Across America. I mean, a race across the West, and RAM stands for Race Across America. We use these acronyms, but every once in a while we need to make sure that people understand what we're talking about. Now, Per is having a little bit of trouble with his connection here. I think we got him back okay. I see him twice here, but that's okay, Per. I mean, it's just one of the vagaries of the internet and Google Plus and computers and what have you. So, Per, tell me about your experience with RAM this year.
Well, my experience with RAM was a bit double because I didn't finish, and so obviously I was a bit sorry to that. I had a case of hyponatremia, so I have now been reminded that I should put salt on my food. Or at least more salt than I did this time. But I had a really good race until then. It was like I was doing better than I hoped for until it went wrong. I was a rookie this year, and my team was a rookie team. So we were not as lucky as Andy's team. Not making any mistakes. We made a few smaller mistakes that all added up to a bigger. To basically, I had to quit the race. So one of them was that we didn't start cooling early enough in the desert. But what do you know? So I had a bit of a heat stroke quite early in the race, and I never really recovered from that, which was probably the base reason for why I didn't go any further than I did. I made it to Tuba City, and hopefully next time I'll go through and get all the way to Annapolis.
Very good. And I see we've got some viewers who are viewing live. We're not promoting the live show anymore. We're promoting the recorded show. But if there are people viewing out there. If you would like to come in and talk to any of these people, you can do that. First of all, you probably will be viewing on YouTube. Well, I know you're viewing on YouTube because I don't have it on our website at this point. But you will need to cancel. You'll need to close your YouTube account and go to the OhioRAAMshow.com, like I'm going to show you here. Go to that site, and once you do, you'll see up at the top some tabs. And on those tabs, you will see something like this. See where the arrow is pointing? Join the OhioRAAM Show. Just click on that. You may have to jump through some hoops to get here, like signing up for Google Plus or downloading a plugin. We got time. We'll wait for you. Just go ahead and do it. Come in and talk to these folks. We'd be glad to have you ask a question or make a comment. Now, Per, I'm going to go back to you and ask you this question. I'm going to come down the line. I'm going to ask Per first, so you can be thinking about it. Per, what did you learn this year that you do different in another year?
Well, basically, I would do something that Fred, the race director, told us early on in the preparations, was that eat the elephant in little bites and try not to think of the whole race, but try to think of the next section of the race. I think that's a very big learning point for me. And also, one thing is that when not to think as a 24, think of your performance as a 24-hour race, really, because that was also my longest experience before, where you work your way through the crisis. But rather, when you have a crisis, you have to deal with that crisis and not try to fight your way through it. So I think that's probably the two major learning points I've had this year. Yeah.
Well, I've heard Fred Bothling say that before about the don't try to eat elephant all at once. And my wife, when we were cycling for always on a tandem when she was with us, she always said, I can think about the next 3 miles. That's as long as I can make the next 3 miles. When we get there, we'll think about the next 3. And that was a little bit short vision for myself, but it really helped her a lot, especially one horrible day up in northern Ohio when the wind was blowing in our face and the rain turned to snow, and we had about 30 miles of headwind ahead of us. So it got her through, and that was her strategy. Andy, what did you learn this time around that you might do different in another go-around?
Well, did you say Andy or Anders?
Andy.
All right. Yeah. Well, what I learned was that well, the good things I learned is that I can push myself, further and further. But looking at my race, and I did sign up for a Race Across the West next year for the same reason, is that I know I can do better. And I know Anders signed up for RAM for the third time because, as you say, he can still improve that. And with the experience as a racer, but also with the crew experience, there's always things to improve. I think the major things that I can do differently is stay on the bike. Because I was off the bike way too much. If I go in and look how many hours did I effectively pedal, I could easily shave, 8 to 10 hours off the race. Well, not easy. It never comes easy, and there's a lot of factors in terms of weather that can change that time. But I spent way too much time off the bike and not sleeping because I only got like 5-6 hours of sleep, but I was off the bike way more than that. So that's definitely something that I should be able to improve. So yeah.
I have heard that a number of times before, and people get the figuring, tracking their rest stops and what have you, that 5 minutes here and 5 minutes there soon adds up to an hour. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. That's what happened. That's what happened to me. Too many 5, 10, 15-minute breaks here and there. Just adds up to a lot of hours. And but on the other hand, my objective, as I said earlier, was the 92 hours. And as long as I was well within that, well, then we had the goal in sight, and we were happy. And now going in next year, my goal will be the same goal as Anders had this year, and I know he has it next year as well, to improve that time. So next year, well, of course, the official cutoff time is the 90 hours that the Race Across America organization set for the race. But my cutoff time for me and my team will be the 81 hours, and we're definitely going to try to improve that.
Anders, what did you learn this year that you possibly will do different or better next year?
Yeah, I will start with the good things from last year, and the very good things is that I completed RAM with no real pain. That's very great to have that experience, and also the experience with the team. We really had a good trip before, during, and after the RAM. And I know at least 6 out of 8, perhaps 8 out of 8 from my team will go again. So next year my team will be experienced. What I can do better is gluten. My shakes were not thick enough, which meant that I needed energy and ate too much. And navigation could be better. We navigated wrong 4 or 5 times. My bike was too small. My position on the bike can be better. Routines from me and from the team also could be better. Again, more time to get, and actually the truth is my shape could be better. My weight could be, let's say, 10 pounds lower next year compared to my weight this year. So a lot of things. So I made my own calculation, which is more than 24 hours better next year. Let's see.
And what part of the race did you find the most difficult, Anders? What section?
Most difficult. The desert. The desert is dangerous because of overheating. You have to accept that you cannot do much in the desert in the warm hours. Just be on the bike and go slow. But really, it is dangerous, and we were pretty close also, both in Arizona, but also in Kansas, which is also often very hot. Then of course, the last days, my worst days was the 8th day. So we wasted a lot of time. We trying to get some sleep, but the RV wasn't cold enough because of air conditioning was not working. And 2 more times I tried to find rest, but it didn't work because we couldn't find a good way to park. So we must continue. We really wasted a lot of hours. The last days, I think, is difficult also because you are getting more and more tired.
Well, Anders, the Race Across America has a way of throwing that little sting in the tail called West Virginia.
Yeah.
And it has brought many people down.
Yeah.
who thought they were going to finish, and their race ended there. And I know
Yeah.
that's very, very difficult. I've ridden West Virginia, and I said, if we could take a flat iron and iron that state out, it
Yeah.
would be as big as Texas, but it's the way it is.
Yeah.
So, Anders, we've already been over this a little bit, but you are coming back, or you're planning on coming back for 2015, assuming you can pull all the finances together.
I think I am coming back. I have paid the money for to go there at least, so I will be there.
You paid your three grand and
Yeah.
whatever it is now. I think that's what it is. Well, we hope you make it. I know that money is a real tricky problem, and it's trickier for Europeans. One of the thoughts I've had for all of you is I wish we could do more here in the United States, and I don't have a way of doing it. If anybody's got an idea, I'd love to hear it. Of rounding up more crew members from here for you people, which would save you money in terms of travel and what have you. I know some of the people have tried to do that, but I just think hiding somewhere, there's people who would love to crew if we could just find them and get them rounded up. So you already told us about your plans for next year. Andy, you're going to do Raw again.
Yeah, that's. I already signed up for that again. It was always, should I do it? Shouldn't I do it? And but despite of I know that I can do it better, I choose to do it. And of course, a lot of people has asked, why not RAM? And now you're RAM qualified, so the natural question, of course, is why not RAM? And well, one is the money, as we already talked about. It takes a lot more money to do RAM. That's one thing, but the other thing is also the commitment. I feel the commitment to do RAM would be even bigger, and I don't feel that I have that. I don't have that in me to take that commitment right now. Compared to I got to work well and so forth, and also I think experience will do me very well as to get more of these long distance races in there. One of the things that I remember Fred Boatling said on the crew seminar last year was, or earlier this year, was that you can fake 200 miles, you can even fake 400 miles. You might even be able to fake the 500 milers, but beyond that, you can't fake it anymore. And Race Across the West is a tough and challenging race, and I think it's a really good preparation for a racer and for the crew to prepare for the long one. And I don't know if I ever gonna do RAM on a solo, but right now it's Race Across the West, and it's a good commitment for me, and it's a good learning curve, and it's still there's still things to do there. So and I think it's an awesome race, and I mean the whole thing around Race Across the West with RAM at the same time and Oceanside is really a good thing to be a part of, and I can understand that it's getting addictive. I'm sure Anders can recognize that. You really want to go back again and again, and I mean I can definitely see it happen. So yeah.
Well, very good. Now, per your future plans with respect to RAM or Raw?
Yeah, well, basically, I'm hoping to get to get back next year to give RAM another try. But I have to print the money, find somebody to do that. So like everybody. With everybody else, the money is the issue, and but I'm hoping, and I'm pretty sure that I will be able to raise the money, but I'm not there yet. But keep an eye on the race rooster. I'll probably be in there. I'm 90% sure. So.
Well, we've certainly had a lot of people sign up early. to get the advantage of the discounts. And the Danes have, you people from Denmark have signed up in droves. I think you have more riders per square kilometer in your country in RAM than certainly any other country, if I can use that kind of analogy. I don't know. It's going to be a race between you and Australia, I think, to see who turns out the most riders.
I think Austria.
Australia, not Austria.
Australia.
The island down in the bottom of the ocean down there,
Yeah.
the other side of the equator. They've got teams and some solo people. We'll be talking to them, but let's see how that turns out. It's wonderful to see all you people coming over here.
Speaking of cost, it's kind of amazing that Australia can get that many people, because I mean that the travel from Australia to the U.S. is twice as long as the one from Europe. So that's really amazing.
Yeah, well, you know, I don't know what where talk about money. They must have a source down there, maybe that you people haven't found yet, or something like that. But it's really great to see them in here. Well, listen, I want to wish all of you the best. I'm going to have some announcements, but before that, let's just kind of go down the line and see if you have any final comments you'd like to make. Anders, let's start with you. Anything you'd like to say before we say goodbye?
Not very important. The only thing is I really look forward to go back. I enjoy to have the growth from my training. And yeah, look forward to next year.
Okay, very good. Andy, how about you? Any last words?
Yeah, well, I of course also look forward to going back and you know, work on the things over the winter that I can improve, you know, in terms of strength and conditioning, and also some mental strength, and yeah, looking forward to go back there and show that I can do better, and also meet all the other racers there, and yeah, just looking forward to get through the winter and back into next spring, and you know, before we know it, we're back in Oceanside.
Andy, do you think you might make Calvin's Challenge again this year?
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, yeah, it's a race that's only a few hours away, and it's a good prep. I'm thinking about doing Sebring. Well, actually, I'm thinking about doing the 24-hour World Championship time trial in California in November, and then doing Sebring, and then Calvin's. That's probably.
Okay.
But I don't know if I'm going to make them all. That's again, even living in the country, it's not cheap. I mean, there's still a long way to California with bikes and everything. So, but yeah, Calvin's Challenge it's a good place. It's a flat course, and you know, you never know with the weather down there. We saw that last year. This year
we produced some cold wind for you last year, didn't we?
Did that? Yeah, it was a tough.
I always said there's not a tree or anything between Calvin's Challenge and St. Louis, Missouri. That's an exaggeration, but
the only thing to stop the wind on the course in Calvin's Challenge out in that part of Ohio is that when the corn is there, but that time of the year the corn is not leaving.
There's no place to hide. No place to hide. Well, I had the privilege of meeting you, Andy, at Calvin's Challenge, and you kind of called me out. You know, you said, "Oh, and I was glad we did that." So, boy, I would like to get down to Sebring if I could. It's kind of in my dream book there, and maybe I catch you there as well.
Sure.
Any last words for us?
Yeah, well, have fun and keep riding. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, very well. Well, we want to thank all of you for being here and joining us today. We had a couple people who was going to be here and they couldn't make it. They sent me an email and they said, "Are you going to have another Dane show?" And Danish show, I guess I should say. And I said, "Well, it looks like we probably will, and I love to have you people from Denmark on, because I don't know what you do over there, but every time I have anybody from Denmark on the show, my hit rate on the website just goes right through the ceiling. So whatever you're doing, keep on doing it, and we'll be keep it watching you people right along. Now, just some closing announcements here. We do have some shows coming up scheduled, and some in the process of scheduling. Just let me say a word about it. We're going to have, I think right after you, that the next week after your show is Stephen Richardson from Australia. We'd mentioned him. We also are lining up. We have a new team, Team Autism, from over here in Indiana, the next state over. And Sandy Taylor has been my contact there. She's been on vacation. I think she's been in Hawaii or some exotic place, and she should be getting back this next week, and I'll be in touch with her about getting a show up on that. Then again from Australia, we have Team Belarus. Belarus, I guess it's a combination of velo and kangaroos, I think. But it's a women's team from Australia. Sarah was on a mixed team last year, but she's put together a women's team, and she's going to be on her team's going to be on the show. And then I have Wayne Kurtz scheduled. He lives over here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, not too far away from me. He's coming up on the show. Well, that's all I'm going to say now. I do have some very interesting people that we're talking with about getting on the show, so we have some very nice shows in the works. Now, I appreciate it when you give me a plus here on Google Plus when you see a post on the show, or on Facebook, a like, a share, a comment. All of these things increase the viewership of the show, which increases people's awareness and makes people know more about endurance cycling, and in particular the race across America and the race across the West. So anything you can do like that, we always appreciate it. It helps this whole sport become better known, and goodness knows it could be better known. I want to thank all of you for watching. Thank all of you guys for being with us today, and good day.